Oh, Tim.
You got a little burnt? You got a little color?
Yeah.
It's just like on your nose, and that's like it.
Well, I got like a little sun blister on my nose, and then
Yeah.
you can't tell, but all my skin is like peeling because my arms got burnt and stuff.
And you met a celebrity.
I met Jessica Chastain.
Did you talk to her?
Nah. I stared at her for a while though, trying to figure out if she was Jessica Chastain. And when I say stare at her, I mean she was here and I was here walking by in the airplane. And I like looked at her and was like,
Look.
Molly?
I'm sorry, but are you Jessica Chastain who portrayed Molly in the film Molly's Game?
Almost said something like, but I was almost said was, "Has anyone ever told you look a lot like Bryce Dallas Howard?" And I fully was going to say that to this person who I thought was a random, not famous stranger.
Yeah, that's funny.
But then like I walked like 10 more steps and I was like, holy shit, I think that was Jessica Chastain.
I told Maggie about it and she was like, no way. I was like, nah. I mean, wait, so where were you coming from? You were flying to New York.
Vail. We're coming from Vail, Colorado.
Oh, that's fancy.
So
my sister was not surprised. She was kind of like, oh man, this sun blister really shows up on camera, huh? That sucks. Yeah. My sister was not surprised. She was like, yeah, Vail to JFK, like that. I'm not surprised you saw a famous person. And I was like, yeah, probably skiing.
So your sister lives in Colorado?
Yeah. You are not on the podcast yet. This is our intro, and then we introduce you as a guest.
That's not how you want to start a marriage. But
well, it hasn't started yet.
I just want to say this. Hey, I just want to throw this out there.
What?
We got a lot of really positive feedback to last week's episode. Thank you guys. It was a short episode. It was a quick episode, but we talked about weddings and cheaters and all sorts.
I think that's why we got the positive feedback.
Well, no, we had two different people say love the wedding talk.
Tons of positive feedback. But one was my mom, the other was Nazario.
No, we got so thank you. If you want us to talk more about weddings, we're starting a new show. It's called Tim and Maggie's Wedding Corner. And what we do is we just sit and we judge people's weddings and all of the stupid decisions they make.
Right.
Maggie says no, we're not doing that.
Sounds fun. I'd watch. But anyway, how was from Vail? My sister lives in Colorado. Saw her. The people who were sitting in front, so she was about 7 rows in front of us. So I passed by her, was like, oh shit. Kept walking, went and sat down, and turned to Anna. I was like, I think that was Jessica Chastain. And then the family that was sitting in front of us. Definitely not. Family that was sitting in front of us came by, and I heard them say Jessica Chastain unprompted, and I looked at them and I was like, it is, right? They were like, I think so. And then the dad kept like trying to sneak a picture. I was like, that's kind of weird, dude. Just like, let them live their life. But I will admit, because she had kids there, and he was like, I didn't know she had kids. And I was like, I wouldn't know she had kids because I know nothing about these people's personal lives. But I was like, yeah, what the hell? So before the plane took off, I Googled, I was like, did Jessica Chastain have kids? And it showed the 2 kids sitting next to her on the plane, and it showed who she's married to sitting in the aisle across from her, some like fashion guy. And then he was sitting next to, I guess she had a baby recently. So he was sitting next to a newborn, and who I would imagine is a nanny because she got up multiple times to like bring the baby to the bathroom. And then off the plane,
too young to be a grandparent of any kind.
Much too young, yes.
A sibling, possibly.
Because I think we also saw their grandparents. I think we also saw her parents. I think they were there. So once they got off the plane, they like went a different way. But then we met up at baggage claim, and everyone was like taking pictures, and I was like, "That's so weird. Like that's creepy. Like don't do like she's a."
So if I were to Google,
and then Anna took a picture.
Anna. So if I were to Google like Jessica Chastain New York flight, do you think I would see some of these pictures?
No, please don't. That's so weird.
I'm gonna do it.
I would have said something to her too, but I was like, I wouldn't say anything to just this random person that I don't know. So why would I say something to you now?
She recently faced backlash after publicly criticizing JetBlue for a $15 credit offered after her in-flight entertainment system malfunctioned.
Interesting, because we were on American.
Well, I don't think this was this moment,
Mm.
but that's the only thing that comes up. Apparently, she's doing a play in New York and has a New York apartment.
No, I'm sure everyone has a New York apartment.
Do you?
Everyone who is famous.
Oh, got it.
And gets more than 2 positive. You are not on the podcast yet. You can't
We were thinking of getting Bucky a New York apartment. But
actually, I do have a New York apartment technically, but not the kind you're thinking of.
Oh. What are we talking about here?
Like the place where I live is an apartment. It's in New York, so.
The state. I'm talking the city, baby.
Well, shockingly, Tim, they're called the same thing, and if you wanted to specify, you should have specified.
How was the rest of your trip? You got to hold a baby? How was it?
Yeah, she was great. You are not on the podcast yet.
How old is the baby?
4 months. She turned 4 months while we were there.
Are you leaving? You want to come say something to the people?
I'm not on the podcast.
She said, I'm not on the podcast.
Oh my god.
That was funny.
That was good. That was good. So no kisses or anything? Oh my god. All right. Anyway, 4 months old, beautiful baby.
Yeah, she
Or was it
smiled a
kinda
lot.
ugly?
She giggled a lot. No, like actually cute. And like I
Good.
probably wouldn't say it out loud because it's rude, but I definitely think some babies aren't cute.
Oh, no, it's not even a question.
But yeah. Like
I know Nick wants a baby.
you are not on the podcast yet. Go set up and get ready. But no, like barely cried. Laughs and giggles a lot. Even when she did cry, it was just kind of quick, like and then like you'd feed her and she was fine.
Yeah.
Wakes up happy. Slept most of the night. Like didn't wake us up at all, and we were in the room next to her. So
Nice.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, babies are it's fun. It's crazy. I don't remember the first 8 months of Ellie's life, but I lived the first 8 months of Ellie's life through what movies came out and what happened in the world of Fandom Fights. That's how I remember.
Who was the champion during Ellie's 8 months of life?
When she was born, Brittany was the champion. Well, so again, I guess release schedule is a little shoddy, but shooting, I remember. So we shot the match where Abel beat Brittany when Ellie was like 2 months old. Because that was Mayhem, right?
That was.
Yeah, so she would have been, maybe a month and a half, 2 months old. So it was that whole run, and then Tyler beat Abel and so on and so forth. So I very vividly remember that. And that was during the whole no, that wouldn't have been. I'm a liar. During the teams, I was thinking of teams. It was 100% the Abel stuff. But I was about to say that was the rise of Posse Galore, but Posse Galore didn't start till 24.
Yeah.
So that would have been well into Ellie's first past her 8 month.
Wow.
So
now Anna wants 10, and
yeah, I saw that on her Instagram. I was like, well, let's pump the brakes here a little bit.
Brakes are pumped, don't you worry.
But you should have at least one.
I'll think about it.
It's very fun. Honestly, every day I think about it literally every day, because how can you not when you have a kid there? It's in the same way where like maybe you're not actively thinking about getting married every day.
Sure.
In the sense of like, oh wow, I'm so excited to get married, but you think about getting married every day because it's like what's there in front of you, whether it's like active or like.
I haven't thought about it in months.
Oh, well, we talked about it last week on the podcast, but
we shot that months ago.
Oh shit. But no, I actively think like every day, like looking at Ellie, I'm like, man, just like what would the dynamic be like if
Mhm.
there were more of these here?
Mm.
And it would just be different. Like we have such like a thing, like the three of us and the dog. Like there's just like a very like there's
Like
like
a
a
familial bond, one could say.
well, yeah, but I just mean like there's a rhythm that like I've heard stories like you and I are both religious people, I would say, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I very much am, I would say.
Yes.
And I take a lot of like inspiration and guidance from my religion. And a good friend of mine told me a story once when I was kind of on that like I don't know if we want to have more kids or not. And he told me a story about how they had 2 kids. And he was like, this is it. Like, this is my family. Like, everyone's here. Nobody's missing. This is it. And then one day, they were all just sitting around. And he was like, him and his wife both were like, oh shit, someone is missing. Like, we're supposed to have another kid. Like, that type of way. Like, it was like a God moment. Like,
Oh,
you hear
like
me? Not like one of their 2 children was missing.
oh, because that is what I thought. He woke
No.
up and realized, oh my God, Jimmy's gone.
No. They needed Jimmy. Jimmy
Someone took
needed,
Jimmy.
yeah, no. They needed
Jim.
the other one. So I'm living in that, Maggie and I are living in that blissful ignorance of like, we are very happy with our one, but if one day we wake up and we feel like God is pushing us to like, hey, you're supposed to, someone's missing. Like there's supposed to be another baby here. Then maybe we'll go for it. But it's much to the detriment of my mother-in-law. I will say that.
Mm.
She's very
Tim,
upset.
to wrap this conversation, and because we started in one place and ended in another, I'm going to try and combine where we started and ended.
Ooh, do it. I would love to hear it.
Has your opinion about babies on airplanes changed now that you are a father? Because there was a baby on the airplane at the beginning of this story.
Yeah.
And he cried a little bit, but I've been on airplanes where they cry a lot, and I know it's not the baby's fault, even though it kind of is. Like, get a grip.
Well, it's the baby's fault, but it's like,
But I feel like after I'm a father, my mood would change from "oh, you stupid baby" to like "oh, I get you, man."
it's context. So babies on planes because mom and dad want to go on a vacation.
Sure. How do you know the context?
You can tell a lot by looking at people. So, for example, Jessica Chastain is a very famous person. Nothing against Jessica Chastain, but if I see
Yeah,
two
right, so
random Joe schmoes from Milwaukee that look like they're bums and they're headed to Florida wearing Disney t-shirts, and it's just the two of them and they're bickering though. Like I feel like most of the time, like the babies on the planes that I get annoyed with are because I'm also annoyed with the parents who have the baby.
so you become just very judgy of parents then.
Kind of, but I mean like
Mm.
so what I'm saying is that like if you lived far away from your parents, right? Like if my parents lived in Florida and I'm in Wisconsin, I could drive my infant, my baby,
Mhm.
to Florida, but that would suck. And so I would feel a necessity to go and do that. So I guess the majority of times, like I would say 65 to 70% of the time, I'm okay with the baby on the plane because most of the time it's like if you're bringing a baby on a plane, you're going somewhere where you kind of need to go with that baby. What I don't have a tolerance for is babies in movies. Um, I'm cool with babies in restaurants, but if they're crying and causing a distraction, you take them out. It's the same thing with church.
What if it's cold outside?
No, not outside of the entire
You
restaurant.
take them out like
No, but just like somebody said something to me right when Ellie was born at the hospital, and it was really impactful. And it was like, you don't have to like look at your child 24/7 all the time. It's just like impossible. But if you're ignoring your child for your gain, so in the sense of like Ellie is walking around wanting to play, and I'm ignoring her so that I can watch TV or I can play video games, that's a net negative for Ellie and her development. It's showing her that like this other thing is more important. And I feel like I see a lot of times like parents will bring babies or kids, little kids out to a restaurant because they just want to get out, and they shove a tablet in the kid's face, or they ignore them when they're crying or stuff. And again, everybody has a different experience with kids. Ellie is 2. I don't know what she's going to be like when she's 4 and we go to a restaurant and she's like, dad, dad, mom, mom, dad, dad. Like, I might just shove a tablet in her face. I'm aiming to not do that. That is our goal, to not do that. But I don't know. So it's hard for me to like, it's hard to judge other people on these things when you haven't gotten there yet.
So moral of the story, put your baby in a dog carrier and put them below with the luggage.
Or mail them.
I
think the United States Postal Service has really grown in the last year. You just put a stamp on their ass and you throw them in.